What up, man? It's your boy T Was checking in back for another episode of Words of Woods, man. I got the lovely Kyla in the building today. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I haven't seen you in years.
Yeah, it's been
Where do we meet at?
the National Black Journalists Association.
Okay. So we were
It was
doing
a
our...
boot camp.
It was a boot camp. Let me ask you, I know it's been some time, but how was that experience like for you, with that boot camp?
Oh my gosh. It was, it kind of opened up my eyes about
How so?
diversity in journalism.
Okay.
So the school that I was telling you about that I transferred to, I already knew racism was going on and all these other type of things. But when I went to the school that I transferred to, which is what got me started at the boot camp, it kind of put me in situations to see, oh my gosh, like we are really not represented well at all.
Yeah, at all.
So, you don't really pay attention to that type of thing when you grow up. So it just made me very socially aware. And the fact that we need to be in a lot of different places, not just on the shade room.
Oh man, I can go on and on about that. Like with the whole shade room thing, I feel like they just focus on the negative. Like it's never the positive. It's just always the negative. It's just about baby mama gossip and all this and that. And you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's our duty to bring back the positive side of the media, and reflect upon and get the good out of people instead of the bad. Like I'm not using my platform to tear somebody down. If anything, I'm using my platform to uplift somebody and, shine a light upon them. That's why I got you here today. So for those who don't know Miss Kyla, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where'd you grow up? Who are you as a person? And what you got going on with your life?
So that's always such a funny question. So I grew up here in Dayton, but I graduated from Trotwood High School. My family was in administration, so that's how I was able to go.
Sound like your head gestures seem like you're not proud of that. You don't like, what I'm saying, Dayton, Trotwood. It's
no. Because the thing is, like, I don't want nobody to be like, oh my gosh, she was, a fraud. How you live in Dayton, but you went to Trotwood, so I don't want nobody to be like.
Oh, so I'm not from Dayton, so I don't know.
I forgot.
Yeah, I'm from Columbus. I'm not from the Dirty D.
You did not.
All right, so what's the difference between Trotwood and Dayton? I thought it was the same. Like it ain't the same thing.
Technically, it's the same thing, but at the same time, it's not the same thing. So Dayton is like one big what we call Dayton is just like Miamisburg, Springboro, But at the same time, it's not. So okay. Trotwood is literally its own city, its own school district. Dayton is Dayton Public Schools, so I didn't go to DPS at all. Okay. No shade. It's no shade at all, but it's no shade. But I just wanted to say that just in case anybody thought I was out here committing fraud. But no, so I graduated from Trotwood in 2014. I just graduated college a couple weeks ago.
Congratulations. Virtual college graduation.
Oh my gosh.
How did that go?
Oh my gosh, y'all. This was so crazy. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. So it's supposed to happen back in May 18th, but they pushed it back all the way till August. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. At least we get to walk across. We were going to have tickets originally because it's a small auditorium. But then they just cut it. They was like, you can have 3 people. That's it. Y'all gotta have masks. They gave us a whole direction of where you have to walk in and where you have to walk out. It were black and white instructions of how to do things. There's no audience. You just walk up with your family members. You go up on the stage, get your degree, take a picture with the president and somebody else. I don't know who she was. Take a picture with your family, leave. That's it. It's not like a drive-up graduation, but it's like a walk-up graduation type stuff.
Let me ask you this. I know being a college student, I graduated college in 2019. Being a college student, you go through the trenches. You go through the utmost. You go through all the ups and downs in life. And, you go into college as a child, quote, like a teenager, and you come out of college as a young adult. So I feel like, everything that you go through in college, just all the hard work you put in, blood, sweat, and tears, do you feel like feel as if, because I feel for a lot of y'all graduates and just from high school to college, like you go through so much not to be, you do all that to walk across that stage and get that real ceremony. So do you feel like, are you kind of saddened by that?
Like I was robbed.
Yeah, like you was robbed of your just experience and just.
Yeah, I went through grief. So the thing is, people only use the word grief typically when you're grieving like the loss of a physical person. However, I had to actually like figuratively grieve the loss of what was to come. I was supposed to have a physical graduation. I know most people are like, oh, you didn't miss out on anything because, graduations are always long.
It's not about that.
They're always, anything is like, you don't understand. You had a freedom of choice to get up and walk out.
Yeah.
I didn't.
You didn't even get that opportunity.
I didn't get the opportunity, and then I was supposed to have a graduation cruise as my present as well. I was like,
lines.
bro, nothing.
Cruises is fun too. I went on a couple. I went on one, but man, I had the time of my life.
Side note, Royal Caribbean, shout out to them.
Hey, that's where I went on the Royal Caribbean. Hey! You know what I'm saying? I wasn't doing the carnival. I was a little too bougie for the carnival, so I did the Royal Caribbean. Yeah, you feel me? So I had to go Royal Caribbean. Where was you gonna go?
So we were supposed to fly into Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And we were supposed to go to Barbados, St. Martin, St. Lucia, St. Kitts, Antigua.
Man, I'm sad for you.
Some other place. It was like a 7-day cruise, and we were supposed to go to a new island every single day.
You was gonna kick it, have fun.
I was,
man,
toasted.
I'm so sorry.
I had to really take the time during this pandemic to grieve the loss of a lot of different things. I lost my job. I lost my internship. I was working in marketing and advertising. So we're doing events for, promotional events for movies. So, I mean, if you can't be around anybody, you can't do that. So it got shut down, and they sent us an email. We're going to shut down the program altogether. Like, dang. So I've kind of had reality hit me, not like, a little bit at a time, but all at once. And it's been really rough, but this whole entire thing has been teaching me to keep going, like to pick myself up. Like, okay, you can have your day. That's cool. Maybe sometimes you might need 2 days. But you can't sit in
sorrow all day. Like, you got to eventually come out that slump because, you got to get up and you got to keep it going, man. Like, I learned with the whole Corona thing, too. Like, okay, yeah, for that little bit of time, like, right when it was really starting to go on, okay, it hit me like, I'm in the house. I'm kind of depressed. I can't leave, boom, boom. But I feel like you got to adapt and get used to just how things are now. And I don't want it to be the new norm of how we living and how things are, wearing these masks and stuff like that. Like, man, I went to the store, I forgot my mask. They ain't try to let me in. I'm like, man, this shit is really real. Like, this is real life real. So how have you just been able to adapt through this whole situation with this whole Corona? Like, Therapy. Oh, we were going to get into mental health Mondays too.
Hey, it applies.
So are you getting therapy for you, or you are the therapist?
No, I'm getting therapy for me.
Okay. I need to get therapy.
We all listen. You don't have to have a mental health disorder in order to get therapy, because there's a lot of things that a lot of us have went through in our childhood or just in adulthood, especially in college. Man. I think that it's important for everybody to be able to talk to someone who's non-biased and who has the professional experience and the wisdom to kind of help you out. So at first, that's another part of my grief. I was so upset with myself because I had graduated therapy a little bit, so I was going once a month. But because of the pandemic, I was breaking down, couldn't do it, had to go back once a week. So the pandemic, I swear, if you feel like, you can't get up, you can't do this, you can't do that, I've been going to life coaches to help me set new goals and push myself. And I've been going to a therapist as well so I can get my thoughts in order. I could say stuff out loud, that way I can be like, okay, this doesn't make any sense. Like, you're being very irrational and you're driving yourself crazy. So therapy. So
for a person who hasn't been in therapy like myself, how is the process of just going through therapy? Like, what are like I don't know, how do you even find a therapist? Like, how did you find your therapist, and how did you know that your therapist was a good therapist for you? And what's the process like? And do you actually feel as if it's working for you, for your mental and stuff?
That's so funny because we're gonna have a show about that on Mental Health Monday. This upcoming Monday, I'm gonna be interviewing a therapist, Courtney Carroll, who is with a Minority Therapist of Cincinnati. So, honestly, finding a therapist at first, I've been going to therapy for a long time, since my sister passed away. So, and that was years back. So, I mean, my mom stuck me in there, and that was fine. But when I got to college, there was counselors that are on campus. So, for students, on some campuses, they're free. But on NKU's campus, it was only $15. Still, that's something to beat because the one I see
$15 every session.
$15 every session.
Okay.
So
I know some people that charge like $50 to hundreds of dollars.
I was about to say mine
good.
charges $60 a session, and it can go up to $200. So there are certain resources as far as like there's like Better Talk, and then like you can find you can go on the Minority Therapist of Cincinnati and look at they have like a Google Doc, and they share in there what form of payments they take, what type of insurance they take, and up to how much, the amount that insurance may cover. For me, it was my mom found I was in the middle of a breakdown. This is after I had just broken off my engagement, and I knew that there was something so wrong with me. I couldn't get it together. So she found me a therapist on Psychology Today. My therapist had, I guess, some sort of advertisement on there, and I knew she was the truth when she pissed me off. No shade.
How did she piss you off?
When somebody is so honest with you that it hurts your feelings.
A lot of people can't take the truth.
And in therapy, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
You come to therapy to change. So either you're going to waste everybody's time, you're going to waste your money, or you're going to be honest. So sometimes she would be so honest with me, and it would piss me off. And I knew she was good when I'm like in there and I'm bawling my eyes out. And I even bawl my eyes out some more after I leave. So that's how I knew like she was really good. And when I take the time to reflect and meditate on myself, was
it hard? Let me ask you this. I'm sorry to cut you off. But was it hard to open up yourself and go in there with the intentions of I'm gonna be honest and I'm going to really keep it real? Because I don't know. I'm a conservative, laid back. Maybe it's just the Virgo in me. I'm not going to just. It's hard for me to open up. So especially a stranger, like I don't know you from a can of paint. So what makes me think that I'm gonna just go in here and tell you all my business, tell you this and that about me? But that's the whole point. They got to be able to break it down and dissect it. So was it hard to really like open up and just express yourself and let it all out there, put it all out on the table, your first couple of sessions?
I think it just takes time and it takes trust. I guess the thing that, everybody should really remember is that therapists still have to sign, confidentiality agreements. So your business is not going to be out there. They're not there to judge you. They're not. And if you ever feel like they are judging you, because you can tell somebody's judgy language, which mine has never done. And she's been even honest about her own life, which makes me comfortable in knowing, okay, you have that wisdom. So I didn't really have a problem. Like I said, I've always kind of gone as well too. Now, opening up and being honest are two totally different things.
What is the difference between the two?
So I'll open up about certain things, but I'll kind of
you be lying.
No. I'll just omit the truth.
Typical women, they be lying, y'all.
Shade, but we're gonna move past that. I'm slaying, but nah, because I was about to throw some shade on Virgo men. But
let me know before you get into that. I just want to hear. I'm curious now. What's the shade? Can we get back to the topic? Tell me about myself.
Virgo men. Oh my gosh, y'all.
You're the best.
I love Virgos. Okay, I love Virgos, but Virgo men.
How you gonna say you love Virgos, but Virgo men?
Oh my God,
we all in the same spectrum. I ain't crazy. I be chilling. Am I crazy? If you watching this, am I crazy? And they gonna tell you no. Tariq be chilling. I be chilling.
But everybody everybody doesn't have to be crazy and like in your face way. You can be crazy in different ways.
I ain't crazy. No, it's different types of crazies. You know, I ain't put my hands on you crazy.
That's not what I said. But
I know. I'm just saying, like, I ain't. What's all right? What's some different levels of crazy then?
I don't even want to get into.
Like it's you got stalking your page crazy. You got making fake accounts crazy. You got I put some sugar in your tank crazy.
Nah.
That's something you probably do, huh?
Nah, it's
I see right through you. You be putting sugar in tanks.
I have never vandalized anybody's property. I am more mature than that.
That's good. Handle yourself like a lady, as you should.
I handle myself.
That's good. Ladies, take notes.
With respect.
Stop putting sugar in dudes' tanks.
They don't put sugar in people's tanks anymore.
Oh, they be burning clothes. What do they do these days?
No, you didn't see that girl throw gasoline in that dude's car and then blow his car up?
But she blew herself up, though, with her stupid ass. Like, you feel me? Like, just slow. Like.
Oh, man, that's funny.
But back to the all right.
That was a quick side note.
Summary, Virgo men are the best, and get you a Virgo man. It's Virgo season. Yeah, by the time this came out, my birthday didn't pass. Yeah, so, you know, shout
but
out
still,
to
you know, for future reference.
Future reference, what?
You said to get you a Virgo man.
Oh, yeah, so.
You said it's going to pass, but it's still for future reference.
No, I'm saying, like, you know, just in general, get you a Virgo man because we would treat you right. And, yeah, we're going to keep honest with you and keep it 100 with you. You know, everybody else be lying. I ain't going to lie to you. I'm going to tell you straight up. I feel like, you know, when you being honest with somebody, they have the option of either getting with your program or moving right along. And I feel like, hey, I'm going to still be me regardless. I'm going to still continue to work on my purpose, do what I need to do to make it out here in this life. You are just an addition to my life. I'm going to still do me regardless. I enjoy your company, but if you are here today, I'm going to enjoy you. If you are gone tomorrow, I will move on my life. And that's how I view things.
And that's the way ladies take notes, too, because we try to put our lives on pause.
Like dummies.
And no, we're not dummies. Because the thing is, a lot of times men, they come in, because I've had these experiences, you know, they try to manipulate you. They're trying to use your vulnerabilities against you. And that's where I end up in abusive situations. So, you know, the thing is, it's like they try to slow you down and you sitting up there, you're trying to build somebody up. But, and that's another reason why I had to be in therapy, because I'm taking all of the energy that I get to put into myself and I'm giving it to somebody else who doesn't care to go to therapy. No, you got to go. Like, when I become confident, when I became like back in my spiritual routine, had to go. Like, had to go. I love myself. I chose myself every single day. Anybody who came in my way of enjoying myself and my time, they had to go too. I'm like, I'm not doing that. So, and I notice a lot of women do that because we want to. I'm not sure if you listen to Pastor Michael Todd, but we want to take on projects. And in 2020, we're not taking on projects.
Hey, you know, it's crazy. All right. You're not taking on projects. That's so funny because, yeah, I don't know, man. We can go on and on about this because I feel like as men, well, nowadays, y'all want men that are already put together, which is understandable. But I feel as if as men, we end up with more projects than y'all do. We will build a woman up. Like put it like this. Let's say she passed the looks factors. That some guys, all they do, okay, she passed the looks test, so I'm going to boss her up, build her up, do all this and that. Y'all already want a dude that's well put together, got everything. He's already in his bag. He could be young, still trying to figure out life. Y'all already want a well put together man who got his head on straight, who got a 800 credit score, got a boom boom. Y'all want all this and that. Y'all not really willing to work with a man and see the potential in a man. And I'm not saying like mess with somebody who ain't doing nothing, who doesn't have ambition, who is, you know, doesn't even care, is not even trying to try. But a person can have so much potential, but you will overlook that man because he's not to the point where you want him to be right now. That's just how I feel. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Because I'm gonna break that down for you.
Okay.
Because the thing is, I understand about potential, but sometimes potential is not enough. Because if somebody shows you who they are the first time, believe them. So if you come in to me and tell me, oh, you're working on yourself, da da da, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes if that means that I have to get dragged across the mud, I'm not going to do that, because then I'm going to hurt myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand there are certain instances of potential that are, acceptable, and there are certain ones that are not. You've got your really, I don't want to say crazy, because that's dismissive. However, they have been through some things. They have some trauma that they don't realize that they're dealing with. And as a result, they're trauma dumping on somebody else.
Okay.
So as a result, that potential, that's the type of stuff that I said I was never going to put up with anymore. Because the thing is, I don't know when you're ever going to change. I know I've made a change for so long, because I've been in therapy for so long, and I've spent my money. So it's time for you to spend your money, and change doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. So it's like, do I really want to stay and potentially hurt myself and make myself more insecure by staying with this potential? Or, when I'm staying with a man who I know he's right, I know he's what I'm looking for. He's spiritual, he's empathetic, he's kind, he's caring. His credit score may not be the best. His money may not be the best. He's in debt because he graduated college or whatever, but he's got ambition. He's working hard. Mm-hmm. He's a boss. He treats me with respect. He's honest. He's honest with me, and he's taking his time out on me in the time of day. I'm going to ride with you. Mm-hmm. Period. I'm not expecting you to take me to the Maldives and a private jet, or like Future, give me an AP. So
she ain't got an AP. She is not mine.
I'm not looking for a AP. So, if that's the type of potential, nice, that's fine. I mean, it's nice, but that's the type of potential to ride with. But I've seen women
Let me ask
go
you
through
this.
a lot.
Let me ask you this as a woman. I can go on about this. I feel like we live in a time where girls look up to rappers' baby moms. Like that's who they really look up to, just rappers' baby moms. And it's crazy. And then, like I was saying, I just feel like you could do so much for somebody, but sometimes it can never be enough. Like I made a great example. I was talking to one of my friends. Like, let's say you had a girlfriend. I'm speaking as a man. And she was struggling, and as her dude, I'm gonna make sure I look out for her. That's my woman, so I'm gonna make sure she good. If she's struggling, if she falling, I'm gonna pick her up. She should be able to come to me as a safety net, or come to me when she's going through some things. So, all right, let's say she's struggling, she's going through some things, she may have lost her job or whatever, and let's say her rent was just like $500. We didn't say it like that. Say, for instance, you pay her rent, it's only like $500. But you go on Instagram and you see that some rapper gave his girl or his baby mom a new whip, new purse, and then she talking about, I'm never gonna settle. I deserved it. You couldn't even pay your rent. So what do you mean you deserve and you never gonna settle? Like I'm confused, and I just feel like we mistake in today's generation. We mistake like gifts and money and doing gestures like that with love, and it's two different things. So I just wanted your opinion on just how because you might see somebody who you like I said, and it's so crazy, every time something like that happens, all I see is girls repost. I'm not settling, I deserve this and that. Like, why do women do that? I just want to ask you. It's random, I just gotta ask you.
Well, I don't know why exactly, like why a lot of women do it. I mean, I can speak, just from myself. I know that as far as settling for less, I think it's not just about like black and white objectively. Oh, I'm not going to settle for an Audema when I can have a Maserati. Like, I don't think it's like that, but it's like looking at Sierra and Russell. It's the principle.
A good example.
It's the principle of the thing. Or like Chanel Iman and her husband, what's his name? Sterling. I can't think of what his name is. I'm not a football person. But even still with that, it's certain gestures. It's realizing that some people will go above and beyond for other people. And for some people, they don't want to be married or don't care to be married. So, I mean, maybe that's why they look up to the mother of somebody's child. So, I mean, I know a lot of women, some of us didn't grow up with the best households, so they don't want to get married and they just see how things are going. So I mean, it just kind of is what it is. So, you know, I guess, but it's also still at the same time there is a negative side to it, because some people are looking at it exactly for what it is. It's like, oh, I deserve that Maserati. Like, even though you went out your way to buy me a 2021 Autima, I deserve a Maserati.
Yeah.
Because some people are materialistic.
Yeah.
And some people just don't understand their love languages. I mean,
It's
gifts
hard.
can be one.
Yeah, it's hard to
but
find,
some
somebody
people
who's
just aren't grateful.
not.
It's got to be more.
Yeah.
More.
It's never enough.
Yeah.
But it's hard. Like I said, in today's generation, it's hard to find somebody who isn't so stuck on the materialistic things, and somebody whose heart is genuine and pure and actually cares about things that actually matter in life as opposed to the materialistic things. So I don't know. I just wanted your opinion on that. But let's talk about Mental Health Mondays. So what made you want to get started with that? And just how has that been for you, and when did you start and all that good stuff?
So I started 2 months ago. I started in June. Really, I started at the end of May. So it wasn't Mental Health Monday at the end of May. It was like, oh, like a mental health check, like just going on live with my friend. It kind of just started off as me and my friend. Every Wednesday we would do like the versus battle. Like we would do our own verses. And then I was like, okay, like this is really cute. Like I like this. Then I was like, okay, well, let's do something with substance. Let's do something that like I know that I can talk about, something that I'm really passionate about. So I did one when we got on there. We talked about mental health. I was like, no, but I need to take it a step further. I feel like I want to do something more than this, and consecutively. So that's how I started Mental Health Monday. The very first episode was me talking about, trigger warning, was me talking about my sexual assault and abuse situations. So it kind of really started off like right then and there as a bang. Because at the time, the hot topic was, women finally being comfortable enough to talk about their sexual assault and abusive situations. And I felt finally comfortable. I felt safe enough to talk about something like that. So I just carried it on every single week, just breaking down mental health, because mental health is more than just these 5 or so disorders. There are so many other different factors that come into play to it. So what are some of the other factors that come into play? So far I've talked about codependency. Codependency, it's more than just substance abuse. A lot of women are trying to fill a void in their lives with materialistic things. They're trying to fill a void in their lives with men or women, or, they've got to have that person, something just to be there and feel their ego or whatever it is. I've talked about your inner child, who they are, and that you need to heal them, and that you need to listen to them at all times, because they dictate your life, whether or not you think about it. And I was basically breaking down my inner child, who she was, and the fact that, at that time, my biological father not being there for me for 18 years really, really damaged me, really, really broke me. What else have I talked about? Gosh,
what are some things that you want to address in the future, with the Mental Health Mondays? What are some things you want to speak about in the future?
I really, really, really want to break down postpartum, because My favorite. Okay, I'm just gonna talk about my guilty pleasure. My guilty pleasure is Divorce Court. I love that show. However, something very common that I'm hearing is men stepping out on their wives or their girlfriends because she's acting different, she's acting funny, da da da. And I see that happen in real life too. Like not just like what I'm watching on screen. I'm watching that happen in real time as well. People don't understand the hormonal changes that a woman goes through as she's carrying your seed, and then how much more it affects her afterwards. Just because she drops the baby doesn't mean that it's time to wait. It's your countdown for when you get to have sex. No, like she takes a lot of time to recover emotionally, mentally. So I really would like to break that down, and I really want to talk about men's mental health, but it's so hard trying to find a man who has been in therapy. It is so hard. It is so hard. It is complicated.
So you're only looking for a person that's been to therapy to talk about the importance of all,
I'm thinking about
I can't
tweaking
just come
that
up there
show.
and vent to you. I can't just you could be my therapist for the session.
I'm not a therapist. I'm a life coach. Well, almost.
So what is the difference? Let me ask you, what's the difference between a therapist and a life coach?
Oh, so many different things.
Because I would think it was the same thing, but all right. So break down the differences between the two.
So a therapist can actually diagnose you. Okay. So when I went to my therapist, when I went to her 3 years ago and I was having my breakdown, she actually finally diagnosed me with PTSD, which is why I couldn't figure out what was going on with me. I didn't realize that I was experiencing a lot of trauma, a lot of childhood trauma and trauma from abusive relationships. But they can diagnose you. There are certain different procedures that they have to take. They typically deal with unhealthy people to make them healthier. And in life coaching, you're dealing with a typically healthier person. So for instance, like I said, I'm in a healthier place. So I go once a week. I'm self-aware of certain actions, and I have coping skills. I've made amends with a lot of different things. So I'm in a healthier place where I can meet a life coach and I can make healthier goals for myself. So that's really the difference. Is therapists are dealing with unhealthy people. They're trying to get them in a stable environment, whether you're talking about literally or figuratively. They're trying to get them stable. And then with life coaching, it just depends. It depends upon what type of coach you're looking to get as well too, because there's business, there's marketing, there's meditation coaches. There's so many different coaches, but it's typically for healthier people.
So that's something you want to take on in the future as a career. That's what you basically want to do. That's your purpose in life, quote unquote.
I feel like
or do you know what your purpose in life is?
I feel like it. I think it kind of just happens naturally for me. Because I've been meeting with a life coach myself to kind of get myself and my business and stuff together. That way it's to the T. But I feel like it. Because like I say, it just, I've always been that person to try to help somebody out, honestly. I get information that I think that is useful, and I try to spread it to other people. However, I've always been doing it in an unhealthy manner. So I've been trying to help people who don't want to help themselves. But now that I'm in a healthy phase of my life, I want to help people who want to help themselves. So I really want to destigmatize. I'm a big mental health advocate. I can't work with mental health. That's just my separate thing. But as far as life coaching, I really want to help millennials love themselves beyond Instagram. So I just feel
so important.
I just feel like it's just so important. I feel like our values have kind of changed a little bit.
Changed a lot.
So yeah. So I just really kind of
don't let Instagram dictate or validate your love for yourself. It don't matter. Social media does not matter. It does not matter. It matters on how you feel when you lock your phone and you put your phone away and you're actually living in real life, real time. How do you feel about yourself? What are you doing? Love yourself. because it's people who could probably building up that confidence to really love themselves, but they get on social media and they may see something or they begin to compare themselves to somebody else, and then that just completely just tarnishes how they felt at that very moment. Like they could have been feeling good. Like I just got done working out, I'm starting to see some results, but I get on Instagram and I see somebody who had surgery and it's like, man, I want my body to really look like that. But they're not getting it the natural way by working out or, however you want to say it. But you don't need social media to validate you. That's all I'm going to say.
And that's another thing I want to work with as far as codependency that I also have talked about. We think the things, which is social media, is going to validate you, especially Instagram, because nobody's being honest on Instagram. Like,
it's all cap.
I have certain people, certain YouTubers that I follow, they be like, oh yeah, I got my boobs done. Oh yeah, I got my butt done. They have to be harassed about it first, though. Unfortunately.
To really tell the honest truth. Honestly. Some people, they have been honest about, oh, I've gotten Botox done, I've gotten my lip fillers, I've gotten XYZ, I've got veneers, blah, blah, blah. And that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to shame anybody because, hey, if I had the money, maybe I might. I don't know. Yeah, I think I want veneers.
Nah, I don't want to shave my teeth all the way down. I just get Invisalign.
Yeah.
They shave your teeth all the way down.
I know. I've seen pictures. It looks trifling.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, bless their hearts. But no, so, if you have the money and you can do that, do it. Yeah. I just want everybody to be honest about the choices that they make and not try to do something like that and then say, oh, I did it naturally and start selling flat tummy tea.
Man.
Like, I think that that's very damaging to a lot of people, especially us. Technically, as millennials, we kind of grew up with social media. I know the next generation, what is that, Generation Z?
Yeah, something like that.
I can never think about what they are. It's the TikTokers. That's the best way.
TikTokers.
That's the best way I can put them. But they definitely were born into it. So where everybody's head is at is, you can tell it's changed. So, I mean, I can't speak for what it does for men, but for women, I don't want them to feel... It's more than social media. We've had magazines, we've had television, we've had so many different things for years. And I just want them to love themselves beyond what you see.
That's real. So where do you see yourself 5-10 years from now? 10 years from now, where do you want to be? Where do you want to be in life? Where do you see yourself 5-10 years from now?
Blessed and highly favored.
I understand that.
But no, for real, I really, really, really want to, oh my gosh, I hate putting timelines on myself, but honestly, I have to have a timeline because I'm still a Virgo.
Man, we got to keep everything written down. It has to be planned to a T.
It has to be.
Can't miss a beat.
It has to be. I drive myself nuts. For real, I really want to be financially stable. When I say financially stable, I don't mean like barely making it. I want to be like bomb.com, doing well in my business, doing well in my coaching business, because I am really touching the lives of other people. I'm making an impact in the community. I'm making an impact in so many different communities. Student loans paid off.
Gone.
Like, I would love to pay my mother's as well, too. If I can get to that. Those are still there in the next 5 to 10 years. Want hers gone as well, too. I don't plan on being dating.
Oh, no, get up out.
That's
no,
love
ma'am.
for dating. But
got to go.
Yeah, and just continuing to be well-traveled. That's just always my biggest thing.
Hopefully you may be able to go on that cruise. Who knows? Corona might still be here. We don't know
At this one, we'd have canceled the cruise, got our money back.
At least y'all got y'all's money back.
Well, barely, but we're waiting on that. But still.
That's all good. Where can the people follow you out on social media if they want to, get in touch with you and, see all your content? For you to be their life coach, where can people follow you out on social media?
So, Life Koach Ky. It's going to sound so corny, but coach is spelled with K.
Okay.
Just because, like, growing up, I didn't, how you do those games? They're like, oh, say something with the same letter as your first name, and I always had to say Kiwi. I just thought about carrot, not that long ago, like diamonds, but, still, whatever. So it's Life Koach Ky. I go live every Monday at 7 o'clock. So this upcoming Monday, like I said, I think I said this at the beginning, I'll be interviewing a therapist about, how can you find one? How can you find one in your budget? What type of things do you guys do? What does therapy actually look like? We'll be doing that this upcoming Monday, and it'll be before the Brandy versus Monica versus, which is at 8. So, it's not going to interrupt anything. So, yeah.
Hey,
on Instagram.
Make sure y'all go check her out. Make sure y'all follow her. I appreciate you for coming and chopping it up with me.
Thank you for having me.
You were a great guest. Good conversation. It must be the Virgo in you. I don't know.
It is.
It is.
Let me stop.
Make sure y'all go follow her, man. Another episode of Words of Woods down. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, all that good stuff. Until next time, see you later.